Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. Jay-Z and Beyonce are two of the greatest names in the music business and one of the most notable couples ever, yet things aren't looking excessively great for them right now. In spite of seeming to be joined in broad daylight, murmurs and bits of gossip suggest that, in secret, their relationship is on rough ground, possibly prompting a separation. Individuals near the two of them are expressing various things. Beyonce's companions are saying she's the person who needs to end it, and Jay-Z's companions are saying he's had sufficient. Regardless of who's thinking correctly, it seems as though they're both not blissful and could separate when you take a gander at them. Particularly Beyonce, it simply doesn't appear as though she's truly into them any longer. There's no radiant in her eyes. A few people even say they act more like dearest friends or siblings than a couple in affection. What's compelling individuals talk significantly more is something Jay-Z said at the Grams. He was attempting to make a point about grants, however it wound up making Beyonce look a piece off kilter. She didn't appear to be content about it, and there's discussion that she simply needed to leave after. That recordings from the night show them leaving right after his discourse, which makes individuals think she truly wasn't feeling great. So what's truly going on? It resembles the marriage between Jay-Z and Beyonce could have gotten into a tough situation a long time back. Reports are whirling that they've been living independently for quite a while, and it appears to be the difficulty begun even before 2014. Cast your brain back to the scandalous Lift episode after the Met celebration in 2014 when Beyonce's sister Solange stood up to Jay-Z. The buzz around that was all there was to it undeniably started off in light of the fact that Jay-Z had swindled in those days. The family attempted to streamline things with an assertion saying they've managed it with Jay and Solange, both conceding they had an impact in the show. However, notwithstanding what they shared with the public, it seems like things were tense in the background. Beyonce's own family implied she was this near tapping out. Then in 2016, Beyonce dropped Lemonade, which basically felt like a separation collection. It seemed as though they were attempting to fix things up, with Beyonce tossing some affection Jay-Z's way occasionally. Even after Jay-Z and Beyonce had their twins, individuals continued to make statements that weren't completely fine between them. A few ideas were that the children would assist them with fixing their concerns. However, as many know, having children doesn't necessarily, in all cases, improve everything. In spite of all that, Jay-Z and Beyonce have looked strong before everybody for quite a while. Diddy and Jay-Z were truly dear companions, more like siblings, sharing great times and supporting each other through the promising and less promising times of notoriety. The fellowship between Jay-Z and Diddy used to be a major piece of both their lives. They were tight, sharing a ton of regard and understanding, since the two of them had to deal with a ton in the music world. However, since Diddy became involved with some shows, things between them appear to have changed. There's discussion that Diddy, feeling cornered, could begin spilling mysteries, and a portion of those insider facts could place Jay-Z in a difficult situation. Jay-Z has continuously been very great at keeping his hidden life simply that private. Even before the entire world was web-based and sharing every last detail, Jay-Z stayed quiet about his stuff. Obviously, there have forever been murmurs and tales about him, and presently, it seems like a portion of those murmurs could get stronger. This situation is no joke since Jay-Z and his significant other Beyonce have endeavored to keep a specific picture solid together and private. On the off chance that Diddy begins discussing things, individuals have barely any insight into Jay-Z. It could stir up that picture. Everybody's watching to witness what's going to happen, particularly since Jay-Z has been so great at saving his previous calm for such a long time now. All of us are simply holding back to check whether any new stories or insider facts about him will emerge. Yet get this, the first person who could begin discussing Jay-Z could be Beyonce herself, particularly in the event that they choose to head out in a different direction. Individuals have been murmuring for quite a while that things didn't begin when they said they did. Beyonce referenced that they got together when she was 19, but a few people figured Jay was around even before that, like what occurred with Charming. Earthy colored, it's all secretive. Yet it seems like there's a great deal we don't have any idea. And yes, Saucy was essential for Jay's life before Beyonce, or so the bits of hearsay expressed discussing which there's an entire adventure about Jay-Z and Charming with discusses him being a major piece of her life right off the bat, so we must keep our ears open. Jay-Z has been very great at keeping his previous calm at times in any event, paying to keep stories like Saucy out of the spotlight. Saucy herself has denied any tales, calling them lies and saying she'll prosecute anybody spreading them, yet there's one individual. Jay-Z hasn't had the option to keep calm. A person named Ryer Sui has been battling to demonstrate Jay-Z is his dad for very nearly 10 years, and that's not entirely there. There's more going on. He could have made some things happen to stay away from a paternity test connecting him to a person named Ryer. This went down. Rye's mother, Wanda, says she and Jay-Z had something short in Brooklyn back in '92. Prior to meeting in Philly, they assumed they were cautious. However, things didn't go as arranged. 2 or 3 weeks later, Jay-Z was good and gone, and Wanda was left all alone. Jay-Z was unthinkable years after the fact that in 2011, she attempted to help some through the courts in New Jersey, yet her case was excused over a detail that was documented in some unacceptable state. Jay-Z's legal counselors rushed to excuse the situation, demanding Jay-Z had not association with Wanda's child except for Ryer, who hasn't surrendered. He's been pushing for Jay-Z to take a paternity test for quite a while, yet there is no karma. Ryer thinks Jay-Z is utilizing his riches and influence to evade the test, feeling that somewhere near the general set of laws and thinking some backdoor bargains among his and Jay-Z's legal counselors. He's just a little of the truth in court, yet it seems like everything's against him right from the outset. I don't know how he feels like I would trust he would consider it, and this would be in his view of any problems. Yet you realize I wouldn't really understand what someone else is feeling. As of now, you simply can believe that this individual knows and is mulling over everything or stuff like that. I truly wouldn't know. My mother let me know she need in there an FA society test, and it just essentially I can say it was a ton of going around with that case. It was a ton of things that wasn't what could I at any point say. What wasn't we needed more data to push the case that is what I essentially can say we needed more data to make all the difference for the case. So it was a major case to me 'cause you realize I truly needed to figure out who my dad was, and for the case not to go how I was a rape. Ending it, I truly thought it planned to go unique in relation to what it was. Nevertheless, well, I truly feel like it ought to have been over with on the grounds that you realize I feel like assuming it was any other person you know. Like I'm not saying since individuals got better expectations or on the other hand or individuals get more cash flow than that, yet it's this different on the grounds that you know whether it was any other individual that caused a low pay. I feel like they would have them in there way quicker than individuals that are well off. I genuinely must know who my binatural dad is on the grounds that you know my mother's well-being. I couldn't say whether it's coming from our family or it's coming from the opposite side, and that would be something I truly would need to find out in light of the fact that you realize later on you don't have any idea what could occur. So how could Jay-Z need to stow away having a youngster before he was even a major name before his first collection dropped? What notoriety did he need to secure? And how could a kid influence his picture in those days? Here's where it gets fascinating. Jay-Z may be keeping away from the DNA test since when he evidently met Wanda, he was 22, and she was significantly more youthful, 6 years to be precise, when you consider it that age hole could be the reason he's reluctant about the test. The way that Wanda was so youthful at the time is critical, something even her adoptive parent featured. She discussed how Jay-Z's legal advisor connected at first needing to deal with things unobtrusively. They even examined rise likely in music and the possibility of him joining Jay-Z's name in the wake of completing school, yet at the point when new legal counselors got involved, the entire energy transformed. It seems as though they got onto the possible difficulty for Jay-Z given Wanda's age. However, there's additional happening in the background than we know. Meetings and records have been drifting around for a year, uncovering things that haven't stirred things up around town yet, including references to Jay-Z and Beyonce that got cut from the last renditions. It appears as though there's a situation unfolding, and on the off chance that the murmurs hold any reality, Beyonce probably won't keep close by assuming things go south. So what's next for Beyonce and Jay-Z? With this large number of murmurs and reports drifting around, it's difficult to say without a doubt that they've been a power couple for such a long time, generally showing a unified front to the world. Yet presently, with inconvenience in the background and the chance of mysteries coming out, things could change. A few people are contemplating whether Beyonce may be quick to shout out, particularly in the event that they choose to part. There's been a great deal of chat about how their relationship truly began, and certain individuals Subscribe Apple World for more videos.